Have a little patience.
Hello, today we're going to be looking at patience, or forbearance as it's called in some translations, which is the fourth fruit of the Spirit. And I think patience is becoming an increasing challenge in today's society. We're in a very now-oriented generation where we're just constantly wanting the next thing straight away, whether it be the next video game or the newest burger at McDonald's. We're constantly wanting the latest thing, immediately without being able to wait, 1 month or 2 months until Christmas or your next birthday. In the Bible, in Genesis 29, Jacob ended up waiting 14 years for his wife Rachel. And you think he was able to wait that long, and apparently, it felt like a short period of time for him because, he was looking forward to getting married to Rachel, and it was, a joyous thing for him to serve for 14 years. We think now it would barely be a joy for us to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks for something. That would feel way too long. And I think we almost need to kind of try and get back to being more patient. Like from Jacob's example, 14 years he was able to wait patiently for something, and often we don't have to wait anywhere near as long as that for things, and yet that still feels like too long. So I think that's one thing we can definitely try and work on. Another thing, from what the Bible says about patience in 1 Corinthians, one of the classic verses, love is patient, love is kind. And a way of showing love to people is by being patient with them. A way of showing you're obeying your parents is being patient. If they're asking you to wait for something, and you're obediently saying, okay, yeah, I'll wait for that, rather than demanding it now. That's a way of showing love. Another example in Ecclesiastes, it says, don't be quickly provoked. Patience is a way sometimes of calming down a situation. I think, if you maybe have a problem with anger, there's power in being patient in your initial frustrations that you might want to vent on a situation, to take a few seconds to kind of calm down and be patient in thinking about how you might respond to that situation. Because by taking those few seconds, you can respond much more calmly and in a measured way that's not going to stir up wrath or anger. And it's probably going to bring a better outcome to that situation, where you can talk more calmly about your initial feelings by being patient and waiting. And I guess I just want to encourage you to maybe think about areas in your life where you're maybe not so patient, where you're kind of not good at waiting for something, or maybe it might be you get angry quickly, and you need to maybe take those few seconds to wait and think about it. It could be that you're constantly wanting the next thing, and you've noticed in your life actually when a new game does come out, I want it straight away. And you've got to be careful as Christians, we can make things idols very easily. And by having to have the next thing, otherwise we're going to get angry, or we're going to be upset, or we're not going to be happy until we have that thing. That's almost making that thing an idol. And I think there's power in being patient and saying, God, no, you're ultimately number one. And as long as you want me to wait for this particular thing, whether you want me to have it at all, that's fine. Help me to do that. And I think it's good to ask God to help us to be more patient. He wants to help us in these areas. And in this society where all your friends around you might be getting the latest thing straight away, and your parents have maybe asked you to wait for 2 weeks, or it could be a social media. A lot of friends are on Instagram and TikTok or whatever, Facebook, and your parents might have said, no, I want you to wait 2 years until, the correct age to do those things. Patience could be a challenge for you. And I encourage you to ask God to help you to be patient to honour your parents potentially in a situation like that, to do the right thing, because God does want to help you in that. And I believe He wants to honour you if you honour Him and you honour your parents, and you wait for something. And often it can be more rewarding once you've got that thing that you've been wanting after you've waited, because you appreciate it a whole lot more. So do pray to ask God to help you to be patient in whatever area that might look like, and take time to reflect on areas that you think you could be more patient in your life. And by asking God to help you, He wants to help us. And the closer you are to God, the more these fruits of the Spirit are going to come out of you, and the more time you spend with God and look to Him and pray to Him and worship Him, all those sorts of things, the more naturally patient I believe you'll be. Staying plugged into God.